Welcome everyone to another mad German scientist. Live on YouTube, over-optimized the Linux distribution so much it broke Python. Recurring theme, the only constant is change and regressions, and you can't enough test suite. The only replacement for test suite is more test suite, because what happened is our Linux distribution, of course, has so much potential, not only supporting 30+ architectures, all relevant packages, and also still being quite minimal if you want a 100 megabyte or gigabyte minimal and not like gigabytes of oversized, overweight madness. And yet the only constant is change and regressions. So what happened in a previous video, we talked about fast of GCC and Clang optimization levels 0, 1, 2, 3, S, G, set, and fast. And previously we relearned reading the freaking manual that this is not only unsafe but also changes some floating point precision and stuff. So I patched that array already and naturally built a Linux solution with this safer method, but it still broke. So what happened is, for a while I was wondering, it's a brand new installation, so I was wondering, previous video on my brand new hyper-threaded Sun Ultra Spark 64-bit and how many threads was it even? 128 threads stuff. Among other things, Python broke, and naturally of course I assumed, yeah, this Sun Spark stuff and nobody except David S. Miller and ourselves maintains this stuff, and didn't pay much attention until now. This year the major quality offensive here, live on YouTube and our channel, making our Linux distribution amazing again. And quality assurance, that means dogfooding our own stuff, building, compiling, using, updating, zip, repeating. And yeah, so the last days, obviously I installed more, fine-tuned small options and stuff, and I found that actually, no, it's not a Sun Ultra Spark stuff, it's also happening on x86-64, that Python was hanging. Can I show you? So I debugged this, so it was hanging on some futex, it was hanging at the end of the installation. Theoretically I can, so I just don't really want, but okay, we can move this over SVMD. This is by the way the safest. Let's, oh darn. Let's revert that. So what, this was a reproducible, took me a while. So the problem is always with my previous video, undervolting, overclocking, and not only DDR5 6000 memory and Ryzen 1750X. That is of course the thing with overclocking, right? You can't extremely be sure whether it's an undervolting, overclocking instability, or yeah, what is broken, right? So the symptom was that Python was hanging at the end, so it was building. This is of course extremely evil, of like, hey, all this stuff is building, and then at the end, when this own stuff built, so basically at the end it was, did I revert this? I probably should reproduce. It should hang at the end, compiling its own bytecode. Well, it should not, of course, yeah, so like that. And to debug that, of course, you would normally, you already see where it's hanging. Of course, it doesn't help you the most. Also, even, where is even Python? Just want to show you that here. So one thing you can do is strace that, strace p that. Also best with what, copy and pasting the wrong thing. Just want to reproduce that for you, that you learn something for playing along at home. But mouse wheel. Better not touch the mouse wheel. This should actually operation not permitted. Oh, come on. Why is this operation, why was that not permitted? So it was hanging at some futex. Why would that be? What am I doing? Yeah, it was working previously, whatever I'm doing wrong now. Can also GDB that, if that operation is permitted. Nothing like, here's one, copy and pasting constantly the wrong stuff, thanks to Wayland. The future is, no, but it, I don't know what's wrong with this Wayland people, that copy and paste is still not. Yeah, so Vutex theoretically Espray should have given a similar result. So this is as so I wasted time. So as naturally I assume there some glibc regression. I actually wasted 2 hours of electrons of rebuilding the whole world, T2 package world, with a previous glibc, and has the same happened. And then naturally the thing is, sure, I could now remove the underworld, remove the overclock. It would have happened, may or may not have happened again. I did the next best thing because obviously I didn't want to reboot and mess with my carefully overclocked and undervolted BIOS. So I built with less optimizations, and sure enough, or not sure enough, by pure chance and luck and random trial and error, this went away. So this is probably not a Vutex thing. You could assume now it's some Vutex thing, but no, some surrounding code of Python got miscompiled and optimized away, and that's why you. So like some people benchmark or other on some news sites like, yeah, fast, amazing benchmarks and stuff. And I did even not build all this fast because I like this, our smart, we have like 2 decades now smart optimization in previous Rock Linux and now T2. That optimize all files with OS for size because most code never runs. So the usual 80-20% rule of 80% of the code nearly never runs. Cold code just getting loaded, sitting there, polluting caches, and the hot code passes, like 20% of your code hot code passes. So this is why we have that, and so with less optimizations, this so also in all this kind of wasted probably 3 hours. If you're wondering what does it take to run Linux distribution, so probably don't try that at home. And be smarter than all the other 1973 Linux distributions out there, and all repeating, rinsing, and well, not all repeating. I mean, most are not optimized and don't support 30 architectures, but the series distributions that do some series work all share the common things, right? So don't try this at home. Just load our amazing just raw vanilla and accept Webpack to work and have some nice features, and voila, it built. I can even tell you, I mean, you could now go, I mean, the problem is maybe it could be undefined, like the Python C code, the Python C implementation might use undefined behavior. The GCC compiler might the usual over optimization of like, hey, we optimize so much, it breaks stuff, recurring theme in the Linux kernel, glibc and stuff, and now Python. I'm happy that I finally freaking found this. It is one of those because first I removed like half, so this is our smart profile stuff, which recurring theme, the only substitute for test suite is more test suite and profiling is more profiling. So it's one of those files. I will not, I mean, sure, I could theoretically, I mean, some of this were duplicates because I did run the Linux perf utility and this spit out. So basically, I mean, I can't unique that because it has a number, so you would need to basically remove the number, then unique that. I mean, I could script that, like maybe I should actually do. I mean, I still need to script in a more amazing automated smart profiling thing because so far I've done a couple of things more manually. Obviously it's not so, like, in an ideal world you would even like, it's even difficult in, I mean, sure, you could shell script that. Probably it's a little bit easier in GNU org or stuff. Or for that matter, just old-fashioned Unix org. Because in an ideal world, you would want to add those profile hits here, profile counters. This is why so it's either dict object, selects one of those apps. I mean, it makes sense, right? Initially, I removed some, like Pi. Maybe it's not Pi Arena. I mean, I could actually this GC. It was not Pi Arena, so it's one of those. So So it's either, it's like something digital. What's probably happening is like some conditional or other number magic, box, floating point, NaN, value, whatever stuff is going on there, and some stuff is either relying on undefined behavior, improper GCC over-optimization. I could actually check, so the GC module is still in there, that was the duplicate. So PyArena means it's basically not even verse 2 yet. It's I leave it like this, so it's not even my primary use case. It's whatever, it's fine enough. So yeah, let's commit that. So basically, this is not the most amazing stuff and welcome everyone. So it's of course only a workaround of like, hey, let's optimize that less. Basically, fixed Python. Smartest Python optimization. Miscompilation or whatever. It's whatever. And then let's try that here. That should have, so that is a fresh installed VM of, and that is all the stuff that delays releases, right? It's always one more thing that's broken, and yeah, smartest. So let's try that. And the thing I immediately noticed was that because we cross-compile everything, that is also amazing stuff, right? If I always said we cross-compile everything to have the same reproducible build on all the architectures, whether it's ARM 32-bit or RISC 65-bit or Spark PowerPC or x86 64. Because if I would not cross-compile x86 the same way, I would not have instantly as easily reproduced that here with x86. Because initially I noticed that on Spark. It's also the good thing that I delayed the release again a month, because if I would have had released those ISOs without noticing that rebuilding this stuff doesn't terminate and like infinite waits on those few texts, that would have of course been a sucking release, a suck more release, not a suck less release. And this also means for me, so this kind of Heisenbugs are extremely, like this easily burned 3 hours, because I was looking at this already last night at home and a week ago on Spark, and it's like, nah. And at the end of the day, it's like, sure, I mean, or maybe net a little bit less because you multitask of answering some email and doing that, but even if it's like wasted at least 2 hours, whatever, it's still too much. That means for me, recurring themes are only substitute for test suite. Previous video, right? Is test suite waste? No, it isn't. It's the most essential thing, and we need to test suite more. Just for me, because it's such a wide range of diverse software stuff, and it's such huge stuff, right? That every year becomes slower and slower because every major version of GCC and Clang and LLVM in previous video becomes slower, right? Which is really time consuming. So I wanted to then let's do some more testing and we rebuild Python. Then let's maybe miss a Ninja and spend this YouTube time here testing a bit more stuff. Because basically this happened while I was testing for you playing along at home, because I want to make T2 this year, like after the last, not only the last 25 years of Rock Linux and T2 history and stuff, but the last 3 years live on YouTube, where we added features, more features, and the most features like Rust Cargo, Wayland, and all the other Pulse Audio and gazillions, not only architectures like RISC-V, but also stolen thousands of packages from other Linux distributions and stuff. It is now, I'm aware that this is of course, like, it wastes 3 hours of my time. Normal users or even advanced developers might have never found that. I mean, I also didn't like track down the root case, but at least it's working now. And so this year will not only have the microkernel, my ambitious dream project, Vapo, very dream project, but also quality, like testing, more testing and quality and other amazing stuff. And more, I mean, I always try to fix stuff when I found it, but often when I didn't need it, of course I had it lingering around and like KDE and GNOME not being updated. And this year I will continue like to polish and fine tune our amazing Linux distribution so that stuff much more often works for you. Playing along at home, not only on the PS3, SG Octane, UltraSpark, RISC-V, unmatched RISC-V desktop, hey, UltraSpark and stuff, right? And so Python, that word, Mason Ninja, yesterday I wanted to test Mate among other things. By the way, we could, so they are, I mean, some of the stuff is also upstream, right? Or lots of, I mean, sure, this is upstream, right? GCC and Python, they misoptimize if you like. Sure, we over-optimize because we want performance. Maybe you shouldn't. Also, recurring theme, you should probably not use fast because breakage. I would also say in 2020, like after 40 years of C compiler innovation, I would also say stuff should not just randomly break and undefined behavior. Maybe that is what other people have Rust for. Which, spoiler alert, the latest Rust compiler also breaks for me because it's only constant change and Rust is also not amazing. But yeah, theoretically, I made emerge also more amazing so that now if we run repository, I mean, because someone asked mate, and so this now builds really a lot. The question is, so also some stuff will fail. I'm aware of that. Some stuff also with super silly and stupid shared files because bloody Perlman pages and stuff. We need to patch this that like byte or thread and other very generic names that common packages install. I made emerge less verbose the other day. Of course, you still, in an ideal world, maybe this, honestly, this download, so it is already less verbose, right? Sure, it is small things. I will also continue to make emerge more amazing. I made it already less verbose. Until yesterday, there was more like 3 or 4 lines of mirror information each time. Improved that already. In my opinion, sure, this is because it's not our mirror. I should also fix that, by the way. Share, like, subscribe, Patreon, GoFundMe, and GitHub sponsorship and stuff to compensate all my time spending day and night mirror and updates and fixing and stuff. But as you see, stuff is mostly amazing. Also, Cairo MM failed. Why did this fail now? Oh, this didn't download. No, amazing stuff. We probably don't. Do we need that for mate? That is, of course, not ideal. That is less than ideal. Let's maybe for a second try debs none maybe and see how many other made stuff. Yeah, whatever this was. What was it? Cairo MM? What was it? Oh, this is amazing. Yeah, this stuff doesn't scroll. So yeah, I also need to clean up. So I changed this new build here to reproduce it. So this, by the way, you can do this in wrong. Probably should be all, but isn't all. Maybe. Wait, what is a temp? Oh, this is some source Python. This is not good. Yeah. Maybe we need temp though. Yeah, that is a little bit dangerous. Change routing that, you can easily wipe lots of stuff. If you then rm-rf here, the wrong stuff. Okay, that is apparently then. So yeah, that is fixed too. Okay, some made stuff. So it's also at times, okay, there's also some Python. So this needs macro. Let's Oops, no, this was Control C in the wrong. Anyway, you get the idea. I also, so this is also was long on my to-do list to make this installed OS from HD with EFI. This is not yet ideal, it's currently hard-coded. It is, some of the stuff was for years on my to-do. If you are Grub Core, Grub 2, Master Jedi, Code Guru stuff, ideally, like if, I wonder if like maybe, yeah, so basically we would need to scan all EFI partitions. That should probably be possible to script, or like, I mean, it's maybe hard to script, and that's also the thing that I would want to do better in my microkernel. I don't know, I waited too long. But so ideally, so this is right now hard-coded. That works if, yeah, but anyway, it is better than not working, at least sometimes working, and still, yeah, but I wish Grub 2 scripting would be more amazing. It's a little bit limited. Like scanning all the file systems for FAT, and even that, I'm not even sure that it's easily possible. I mean, maybe it's Turing complete, but it might be super tricky. But anyway, if you know how, or maybe I should. I don't know if other distributions allow in their install media boot other things, but no, but whatever. Like if you have input there, leave it in the comments below. But at least it's mostly done, and it's like some example code in the Grub 2 config. It's better than nothing. And yeah. Cheers. What was the things that I wanted to, probably I don't have it in the history now. I do the steps none, just a minute to build less for a test, but of course it will not build all. What was the, let's maybe build some small thing with dependencies and see. Okay, this does not, okay, this might not, yeah, let's see what happens. So my goal for this year is like to make stuff like this work most of the time. What is it now? UDisk 2, okay. Maybe this cache are not yet ideal if it even had a cache. Does it have a cache? Okay, it had a cache. Is it not in there? Oh wait, did I? Maybe I did, or maybe I was as, did I? Don't tell me I... No, this was not debs, no, I'm not sure what's... Yeah, or like if you just emerge K, that this really works. But this will be for another day. We are, of course, much further with that. The problem is that the challenge is that we want to auto-detect this. Other distributions get this working by tons of manpower of hundreds, if not thousands, developers hard coding, typing in all those dependencies, and we never, like 20 years ago, we already thought that is stupid and nobody should constantly update, like waste so much even more time to do this dependency stuff by manually. And yeah, we will improve that. We are much further. The problem is also just the dependencies, like if you build stuff, it's using everything as a kitchen sink, including documentation generation, graphics for graphs and that, and other. Nowadays, just look at the GNOME and KDE dependencies. Then like Python, then like sooner or later, like the dependency graph is like next to everything, and that is a bit of the challenge, which is in general the biggest challenge to improve this image of like, hey, do you really want to install all the stuff? Like some manual annotation will be necessary, and then Emerge should ask, hey, do you want this optional documentation dependencies with graphics and docbook and whatnot, or not, because often you won't. But anyway, so this Python fix up is, of course, like one other major fix. That is, of course, if you dogfood your own stuff, then you, spoiler alert, find the bugs. And this is also why, ironically, this Grub EFI chain load thing I only did yesterday or so, or yesterday or the day before, like the last 1 or 2 days, because I was testing this with Python and other stuff, and it annoyed me to go into the QEMU EFI BIOS and change, like sometimes I forgot there change booting from HD and stuff, and it annoyed me enough that I finally fixed it for the boot CD ISO too. It's like, yeah, if it annoys annoys the developer enough, then eventually the developers have mercy and fix the stuff. Anyway, so yeah, amazing stuff. More stuff is building. Last but not least, the question is, of course, should we really build partially with OFast? And I think for now I will continue, because it also helps us. Like, we could, in a super ideal world, I mean, not only someone could fix that, but that will not be me. Because my pay grade is not high enough to spend more time on Python and GCC. I rather write my own compiler then, that doesn't have such code defect compilation issues. But I will continue to do so, because I want this extra performance, right? You see here, we compile more and stuff, and then I basically rather try to optimize more than the average distribution. And sure, sometimes I waste 2 or 3 hours figuring out what's actually broken, but at least then we know what's broken. And yeah, maybe we could have annotations in either the profiling or other ways in our metadata package description of like, hey, this file, like Python, whatever, cannot be like no OFast for those files, because that goes up in holds and catches fire. Anyway, that is the vlog update for today, for this amazing Linux distribution that has so much potential if we just fix all the usability, compilation, upstream breakage. I hope you enjoyed this and learned something. New ISOs coming really, really soon. As you see, my top 10 most wanted to-do list also decreases. Also, I'm still adding new to-do of, hey, that would be amazing, that would be cool, that would be nice to have, but at least also working on actually, hey, and Qt5 base actually also freaking build TM. It's building a little bit slower because this VM is only booting, I think, with 16 cores. At least I did the other day. Yeah, SMP 16 and 16. That's only using like the cores, not the extra SMT threads of this Ryzen 79 and 16 gigs of memory. So yeah, building that natively would be a little bit faster. Anyway, that's it for today. I have to go home. Hope you enjoyed and learned something. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and hope to see you soon for the next videos and ISOs to come.